Fights, Mics, and Media. I'm Goldie Boyd. Born June 1st, 1960, are two legends, Carlton Douglas Rittenauer and Richard Griffin, or AKA Roosevelt's own Chuck D and Professor Griff from the legendary group Public Enemy, or what Pops from House Party used to say, Public Enemy, Public Enemy. Listen, man, Public Enemy is a legendary group that if you're a hip hop head or if you're not a hip hop head, you have heard about Public Enemy before because they're a household name like Run DMC. And Public Enemy has been around for a very, very long time, man. Public Enemy started their career way back in 1985, man, and the group wasn't even called Public Enemy from what I hear. I think they started off calling themselves Spectrum City, and then after that they changed the group from Spectrum City when they added a few other members to Public Enemy. And I think the story went something like this. Chuck D and Flavor Flav met around 1985 at Adelphi University in Long Island, New York. And while Chuck D was working for his father's moving company, he had released a record called Check Out the Radio, and then he backed that record up with another record called Lies. And it actually influenced Rush Productions, Run DMC, and the Beastie Boys. Chuck put out a tape to promote WBAU, the radio station where he was also working at the time. And to fend off a local MC who wanted to battle him, he called the tape Public Enemy #1 because he felt like he was being persecuted by the people on the local scene. And this was the first reference to the notion of Public Enemy. And that's how they got the name. A Chuck D song, Public Enemy #1. The single Public Enemy #1 was created by Chuck D with a contribution by Flavor Flav before the group Public Enemy was officially actually assembled. Around 1986, Bill Stepney and former program director at WBAU was approached by Sam Molding, who offered Stepney a position with the label. Stepney accepted, and his first assignment was to help the fledgling producer Rick Rubin sign Chuck D, who saw in Public Enemy #1 Rubin had heard from Andre Dr. Dre Brown. According to the book History of Rap Music by Cookie Lumel, Stepney thought it was time to mesh the hard-hitting style of Run DMC with politics that addressed black youth. Chuck recruited Spectrum City, which included Hank Shocklee, his brother Keith Shocklee, and Eric Vietnam Sadler, collectively known as the Bomb Squad, to be his production team, and added another Spectrum City partner, Professor Griff, to become the group's Minister of Information. With the additional Flavor Flav and another local mobile DJ named Terminator X, the group Public Enemy was born. According to Chuck, the S1W, which stands for Security of the World, represents that the black man could be just as intelligent as he is strong. It stands for the fact that we're not in third world people, we're first world people. We're the original people. Hank Shocklee came up with the name Public Enemy based on underdog love and their developing politics. And the idea from Def Jam staffer Bill Stepney, following the Howard Beach racial incident, Bernhard Coeds, and the death of Michael Stewart, the black man is definitely the Public Enemy. Public Enemy started out opening up for the Beastie Boys, and in 1987 they released their debut album called Yo, Bum Rush the Show. Public Enemy #1 was like a dope ass breakout song for Public Enemy, man. And I'm a Long Island kid, man. So you gotta understand the impact of that song, man. Like when that song hit, it like I don't know what it is about Long Island artists, and I'm not sure if I'm being biased or not. I could be, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Every single time that a Long Island artist hits, they seem to change the dynamics of the game. And it was the same thing when Public Enemy hit. First Rakim hit in like '86, and then Public Enemy came out the following year, '87, and they came out with Public Enemy number one, which sound totally different from Rakim. And although they were both, you know, under the nation of God's and Earth, or the Nation of Islam, rather, and talked about similar things. PE was just a little bit more political than Rakim. Rakim was a little bit more street, a little bit more hood, a little bit more club. But PE was a little bit more political, so it changed the whole climate of what music should sound like, and their sound was so distinctive that it was just fucking crazy, man. And you heard that shit blasting out of every car system, every party, everywhere, bro. A Public Enemy number one. And then fast forward, later on, you got guys like Diddy and Bad Boy doing something like one, 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 which he got directly from Public Enemy number one. So if you didn't know where that came from, now you know. And they followed that up in 1988 with another dope, legendary, monumental album called "It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back." And when I tell you that's like one of the illest hip hop albums that ever came out, bro, man, listen, bro. That solidified their position in hip hop right then and there, bro. They had so many fucking singles off of that album that, bro, it just didn't make sense, man. Like how many dope singles they had off of that album, man. I can go on for days, man, but I'm gonna start with this one. Yes, the rhythm, the rebel, without a pause. I'm low on my level. What? Rebel without a pause, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Rebel without a pause, like, I think it had like James Brown riffs and samples in it or some shit like that, because that's also another signature of Public Enemy, man. They was taking like funky ass James Brown records and chopping, truncating, and looping them shits up and making real distinctive sounding, beats and songs, man. And Rebel Without a Pause was one of them joints. That was that shit right there. Terminator X. What, nigga? Are you crazy? Yeah, man. So that was the first single off of that album. And they followed that up shortly with Bring the Noise. Oh my God, man. Like it, and they just kept coming. And then they came out with Don't Believe the Hype. Ooh, what? Oh my God, man. And then they did Night of the Living Bassheads, man. It was, these dudes, man, bring the noise. Bass! How low can you go? Oh my God, man. Like, these dudes are what you call living legends. Legendary, man. Oh my fucking God. I'm sorry, man, but I'm a straight up hip hop head, man, and PE is just, I'm so fortunate to be, to have lived through that era and hear that music growing up as a kid, man. So whenever I even talk about some of them songs, I catch flashbacks, man. It's you wouldn't understand, man. But anyway, you would have to live through that era to understand what I'm talking about. Everybody who listening to me right now is doing the same fucking thing. Trust me. And Don't Believe the Hype came out, and then they had Night of the Living Bassheads. And then after that, they had Black Steel in the Hour of Chaos, man. And that was all five of them singles was on the same fucking album, man. It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. And they didn't stop right there, bro. They followed that up shortly in 1990 with After they put out that album in 1988, they followed that up with the 1990 album Fear of a Black Planet, man. And that was another joint that was crazy, bro. And they had the as a matter of fact, they had released a song called Fight the Power that was on the Do the Right Thing album the year before in 1989. And the shit was so ill that it propelled them in 1990 to put out this album, which was Fear of a Black Planet. And that was actually the leading single. Fight the Power. Whew. Fight the Power. Oh my God, man. Them was some good times around them times, man. It seemed like, you got to remember, this is the golden era of hip hop, man. So everything, I don't know, man. I can't explain that time in hip hop, man. Like, it just felt good, man. You had a lot of dope hip hop artists coming out around that time, man. That 88, that 88 era, man, and 89 and all that shit, man. So it was just crazy, man. But anyway, Fight the Power had came out in 89 on the Do the Right Thing soundtrack, and that shit was buzzing. Everybody was fucking with that song. And then and naturally in 1990 they put out another single off that album, which was Welcome to the Terror Dome. And that song was pretty dope too, you know what I mean? And then they just kept it coming with 911 is a joke. Like, yo, these niggas was just killing the game, bro. Like, that, I ain't gonna lie, man. I miss that era, man. It gives me the chills to talk about some of these albums and these songs, man. I'm serious, man. Like, y'all have no idea, man. It was really, really good, feel good music, man. Like, the same way y'all got all these artists out now, and you get that feeling when certain one of these artists do what they do. That's how we felt too, bro. So yeah, man. Let me continue this far. I'll be sitting here all day, but they put out a slew of dope albums after that. They put out in 1991 they put out Apocalypse 91, The Enemy Strikes Back, The Enemy Strikes Black. I'm sorry, and then they put out Muse, Sick in the Hour, Message in 1994, and then they put out in 1999 There's a Poison Going On, and in between that, in 1998 they were also on the He Got Game soundtrack. That was another movie done by Spike Lee, and so if you heard that song, He Got Game, You Got Game, that's Public Enemy. You know what I mean? And then in 2002 they put out Revolution, and that was another album. Like, these dudes are legendary, man. They just persistently kept going. And in 2005 they put out New World Order, spelled different. And then in 2007 they put out How You Sell Your Soul to Soulless People Who Sold Their Soul. And these dudes is ill, man. And then 2012, Most of My Heroes Stood on a Pill on No Stamp. And 2012 again, they put out another album, The Evil Empire of Everything. And then in 2015, they put out Man Plans, God Laughs. And in 2017, Nothing Is Quick in the Desert. And then 2020, they put out Loud is Not Enough. And then 2020 they put out another album, which is What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down. So they are super productive, and they never stop putting out work, man, and putting in work, man. And they also had a collaborative album, if you want to call it that, and it was called Rebirth of a Nation in 2006. And these guys are just super, super duper living legends, man. And we're so fortunate to still have these guys around, man. And so while they can still smell the flowers, man, I just want to say super huge big respect to Public Enemy, and huge big birthday shout outs to Chuck D and Professor Griff, man. Like, you guys are living legends. And you are the reason why a lot of these MCs, people like Tupac, if you can't tell that Tupac was influenced by Public Enemy and Chuck D specifically, something is wrong with you, man. If you listen to all of Tupac's earliest songs, you could hear the clear influence by Public Enemy. And if you didn't really follow Tupac in his earlier years, you need to go check them albums out, like Tupacalypse Now and stuff like that, and you will hear that he was definitely influenced by Public Enemy and Chuck D specifically, man. So yeah, man, I just had to give these guys their flowers because it's well deserved, man. They are my elders. They are your favorite rappers, and everybody else, man. So, yeah, man, while these guys are still living legends, I just wanted to give them a warm, well deserved happy birthday shout out to Public Enemies, Chuck D and Professor Griff. If it's a vibe, subscribe. Mwah.